Hey, how's it going, boys? What is up? So, it's back once again for some. Well, I'm here to just talk about this game, I guess, because I've been playing this game for quite a bit for the last few days, because everyone's just hyping about it, I guess. So I decided to, you know what? Let's just check it out anyway, because it's not like I have anything else better to do in GBF besides farming bars. So yeah, here I am. If you're wondering how's my progress, I'm already at that point where I'm just logging in just to do dailies and just smash for res. It's basically literally the same thing as GBF. So yeah, this game is pretty dead game for me at the moment. But yeah, I have reached to level 33 or rank 33, whichever. Gotten quite a bit of my characters to like level 60 and stuff. I've already gotten quite a bit of my artifacts level, but yeah, I didn't really like do the spiral abyss that much, because I need like what, 2 teams and shit, and I'm not even that close to that yet. My first team is not even anywhere close to like being fully completed and stuff. I do only have one 5-star character, and yeah, only Venti. That's the only 5-star character I have. The rest is just, well, mostly dupes of the Venti banner, because Venti banner is like the only one I've been rolling. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna split it into several parts talking about this game, my thoughts, and I guess yeah, this is a review, I suppose. Alright, first and foremost, let's talk about the visuals and the lore. So, like, it is no doubt that the visuals looks top notch, man. The game, the whole game, the way it looks, the atmosphere, the environment, the way the character interacts with like NPCs, the way the character reacts to whatever stuff that is happening within the world itself, the like all the time changes and all that stuff. It looks fantastic. Like, there is no doubt visual looks really good for this game, despite, not to mention, it being able to be played on mobile phones as well. So it's like, because you can play it like basically any mobile phone slash, I don't know, like all types of, like, this game is basically on all platforms, right? There is no doubt it looks really good. So that is like a plus mark for me. And not to mention like the sounds, the way the game BGM sounds like, the voice acting. I mean, well, the voice acting, I've only been hearing a little bit of Chinese. Is it Mandarin? Yeah, I think I heard a little bit of Mandarin, because like I watched some other streamers play the game and they were using Mandarin, and then there were some of them were playing English. I was hearing a lot of English, Mandarin, but most of my gameplay I've always been using Japanese dubs. And all I can say is that the dubs are all good. I don't really have much complaints of the dubs as either way. They're all good. They're all, I mean, well, they're all pretty okay to me in the most part. So I didn't really care too much about that. But yeah, the sounds, all that, everything, it looks fantastic. Like you can really get into it pretty quickly and all that. Alright, so next part, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the lore, because you know some would think that the lore is actually a very important part. So I did try my best to actually just not skip every single the damn thing, because you know, when I tend to say a lot, like when the thing doesn't interest me, I'll just skip it. But yeah, I tried to like listen quite and read every single text I can for this game for like at least the first few days, basically. Like, the only time I actually stopped listening or bothered with the whole story is like, I think halfway through the second region of the map. It's like that at that point it got really stale, because like at that point like the whole progression gets really slow and all that stuff. But either way, from what I can tell about the story is literal ass. To be frank, it's literal ass. I just cannot seem to fathom anyone playing this game for its story. The story is just kind of like, yeah, it's just a little extra from what I can tell. Because from what I can see, from my very experience, like, I wouldn't really play this for its lore. The lore is literally an extra thing, because like the lore literally starts off as you either picking either the chick or the dude. So it's basically they are both twins. So it's either you get a guy or a girl, because that's just your so-called MC. and then you just choose either one. And then what exactly happens is that one, if you choose the girl, your twin brother will get captured by some evil god or whatever crap like that. So it's like, yeah, basically you're on a search, on this epic search to find your twin brother. So what ended up happening is that you're meeting with all these people, trying to get to know the world better and all that stuff, but at the same time they're all giving you all these stupid ass tasks that makes you feel like you're some random dude across the street, and say, hey, since you're so free, can you just help me find this carrot in the middle of nowhere, just because why the hell not, right? It's like it gives you such a cool intro. It's like, wow, okay, that intro is kind of cool and all that, and all of a sudden you come into this world, it's like, okay, what? What just happened? And it's like, it's not just, it doesn't just happen once. That's like across all of the entire game, like the most of the story I've been through up till like 32, because you have you're locked until what? I think my next one is at rank 34 or some shit. So all these stories I've been encountering are all really literally just you just meet new people, new places, you talk to them, get to know them, and then you do shit for them, and then things happen, and bam, done. Yeah, that's not really much happened, right? That actually correlate to what you're supposed to be doing in the first place. Then yeah, there's a lot of stuff they put in there, but it doesn't freaking make sense, and it just puts you off most of the time. So yeah, I honestly think the story is something that you really don't have to pay much attention to. For what I can see, you should pay attention more onto the next segment, which is the gameplay. In this segment, I just label it as gameplay, but what this segment is going to be is that I'm just going to talk about its very core of its gameplay, how as a brand new player goes in and experience the game and all that stuff, how the progression works, how the exploration, the co-op, all that stuff as you just playing the game itself. So this is the part I'm just going to say outright is probably everyone, a lot of people will probably, as long as you enjoy the whole being an explorer and all that, I'm very certain you will enjoy this game, because the gameplay as whole, as you start off, is actually really, really fun. So it's you get into this world, you just find whatever stuff you can, they just dunk you into this world where you can just explore as much as you can, and then you just do whatever you want, go wherever you want, well, as much as the game borders allows you to, of course, because you can only go to some point else. There's some barriers that actually is basically the so-called invisible wall, right? They just limits you to a certain point of the game where they just don't let you progress into that part of the map, basically. But yeah, for most of it, you can literally go through the entire map from start to finish. The only thing is that maybe you might not be strong enough, you might not have enough gear or level or whatever stuff to get to it. But honestly, it's pretty straightforward when it comes to the whole progression and all that stuff. The whole battle system, all that stuff is actually pretty cool. I mean, so far my setup has usually just been range, because I told you guys in the intro, I roll Venti and my main DPS is Fish Shell, whatever her name is. So I've always been just using Venti and Fish, and then I just combo with the whole, the fire thing to make the elemental reaction. So the gameplay when it comes to all this combo-ist thing, when you switch your characters using only just one, they basically each of the character have one skill and one special skill. So basically they call it elemental burst. The other one is just a typical elemental skill. I'm just gonna call it a typical skill with a burst, so I'm just gonna call it an alt or whatever to make things easier. So yeah, each of the characters has all this stuff. It's very, very straightforward, and then if you want, you just combo every single combination you want, fire, lightning, and then you have wind, fire, and etc, etc. There's a lot of probably countless of videos that have already been explaining that. So they have all their combinations and stuff. It's actually pretty fun to get into when you have like all these characters, as you progress through the little story, they give you all these free story characters, like a typical, like in GBF, they just give you, like Katarina, Rakam and all that stuff, right? They're all dumb characters, but you can actually use them. They are pretty okay. They're not really that bad. So the whole progress from start to like, I don't know, endgame, I don't know, is that really considered endgame? It's pretty alright. It's fun, the whole exploration and stuff, but I feel like the main problem with this game is that you get to the point where the exploration just goes to a halt. That's when the game just falls behind really, really hard. I knocked the mic by accident. To me, the progression is actually pretty nice, but the only problem I would say, like, once you hit like around rank 20 plus onwards, the whole progression starts to slow down so much compared to like the beginning, because like you're already at that point where you have unlocked all of the statues, where you have like the whole area on the map open up to the whole damn place already. You collected all the waypoints probably, and that's those kind of stuff. So you already unlocked everything. Like once you reach to that point, it can get really, really stale. Before it's like from like the point zero all the way to that point is the real fun part, I would say, because like you're exploring the place blindly. You see new stuff, you encounter all these monsters, open up all the chests, you see all new basically you're just looking at all new stuff, right? All this new stuff can be really, really fun and engaging. That's one of the things that I actually really liked about the game. But the moment you already unlocked everything, like once you have the whole place open, then it's like you have to manually just go look up, or find the stuff by yourself to see all the stuff that you missed, right? May say for example like the chests, those ghosty little dudes floating around, all that stuff that gives you extra EXP or whatever. When you at that point, you have to find them on one by one and all that stuff. That's where the pain comes. Same goes to like the ones where you have to find all the anemo colors, the geo color stuff to. You have to collect those stuff to unlock or upgrade the so-called statue thingy, so you can get more XP, like currency, stamina, all that stuff. Like just to look for those individually can be quite a pain, but I think those stuff is still somewhat okay. But just once you hit to that really, really high part of the game, when you're rank 30 plus onwards, you can really feel like the massive drought, because you probably at that point you already unlocked majority of the shit already, and then you have to like slowly find like all of the little fucking chests that you probably missed throughout your whole thing, your whole exploration and stuff. Finding that thing one by one can be such a drag, man. But yeah, other than that, like the whole exploration thing about the game can be really, really enjoyable. The progression when it comes to like upgrading your weapons, your artifacts, all that stuff is actually very, very, very straightforward and easy. I think that's very, very simple to understand. Like it's all just like basically you use like specific sets to bump up your characters, to make them stronger and all that stuff. I feel like the most of the strength really just come from upgrading your artifacts, not really too much on the weapons. I can definitely tell like the weapons do make a huge point of upgrading your strength altogether, that's for sure. But like all this really comes hand in hand, where you need to upgrade your characters levels, to extend them, all that stuff, getting the weapons, all that stuff upgraded for your characters, getting the artifacts, all this stuff upgraded. Once you get all of them upgraded, you get them really high level and all that stuff. As long as you cap all their levels and stuff, you can really feel the really big punch on your your strength of your characters and such. You can definitely feel the difference on them once you get them fully geared and stuff. And all I can say is that getting them fully geared at the beginning is actually relatively easy. It's not really as hard as people would actually think, especially if you're maybe relatively new to like all these gacha types. So you have to limit break items, all that stuff. It's actually relatively simple. Just farm. You're getting all these mats and stuff. yeah, maybe you have to farm here and there a little bit, but it's not really that bad until maybe you probably have to hit like when you're like 30 plus onwards, and yeah, you probably can feel a little bit, but it's not really that bad, trust me. But yeah, so once you hit like really like 30 over 30 plus, that point of the game is you can really feel like it's a dead game already, because that's how I feel about the game already at that point. Because like the only way for you to progress is either you find the very little points of the game, like I said, to get all the trash that you miss and all that stuff. But once you're like maybe even higher level than that, all those stuff doesn't respawn. It just disappears once you have already found them, right? So eventually you're just gonna be like super dried out and all those stuff, right? So the only way for you to level is really you just do your dailies and use your resin stuff. That's it. Because the only other way for you to get them is just constant resin spamming, and that requires you, it's basically like using half elixirs or elixir pots thingy to boost up your AP thingy in GBF. Is pretty much that. And that is also one of the main things I actually really hate about the game, but I will put that into the next segment about me talking about what do I hate about the game and all that stuff. But before I do that, I want to talk about the co-op. The co-op is actually relatively interesting for me. I've only managed to try out once, but it's pretty interesting. You can only join basically whoever you're joining or whoever is joining you. You can join basically anyone. If you're joining a person's world, you can join in anyone's game. But if you are the host, the people joining you, they must be either the same level as you or they're higher level than you. If for some reason if you're the host and your friend is much lower level than you, they will not be able to join you, because I don't know, I guess spoilers and stuff, or maybe you can actually allow them to get, I don't know, all the high level materials that you're so-called missing and stuff. So yeah, they're not allowing you to do that. So that's one of the few downsides. But honestly, co-op is actually pretty fun, because playing with friends has always been a fun thing. It never was a bad thing. Exploring all doing the whole exploration stuff, playing with your friends, doing all kinds of shenanigans and all that stuff. It's really fun. So the co-op, I would say, is pretty fun, and like the whole experience of like latency wise and stuff, I don't think I've encountered any bad things about it yet. It looks relatively smooth for me when I tried to play it that one time. It was okay. I don't think I have really much problems about it. I think the only the few downsides about it is that you can't interact with the statue thingy, because for some reason that's part of like your progression or some sort, I suppose. Because like you can actually talk to NPCs, you can do your story quests and stuff in co-op, right, and all that stuff. You can even do like your Spiral Abyss. The only thing you can do is like the elite bosses or world bosses, or like domains, which is all those dungeons and stuff. Those ones you can actually do together in co-op. And then like opening up waypoints is doable, but for some reason you can't exactly do it with the whole statue thing. That's the thing I really don't understand. Like, it just opens up the map, right? It's not really like a big a deal. But yeah, that's pretty much about the whole co-op. I think the co-op part is pretty fun. I really do suggest you, if you have some friends to play with in this game, you should probably do that. You can really definitely have a lot of fun with that. Oh boy, so the things that I hate about this game, it's just really one thing. I hate the gacha. Everything to do with the damn gacha. I just hate it so much in this fucking game, man. I just hate it so much because don't get me started with the fucking raids, okay? The raids are freaking abysmal, man. Holy crap. Like, it's so bad. I don't even really want to talk about it. So, the main reason why I hate the gacha so much is that this game, because it's gacha, right? This game is built around the whole gacha-esque to it. So it's like, because it has gacha in it, right? The game feels like it's developed around it. So it's like there's a lot of mobile games kind of mechanics to it, because like most mobile games has like gachas and all that, right? So it has all that stupid thing, because it has that stamina system, you know, and all that shit is just so freaking annoying. And then it's like, because of that alone, right, you have that whole feeling deep down. It's like, oh man, I want all those 5-star delicious 5-star characters, man, goddamn brother. Yeah, so it's like you always have that feeling at the end of the day, right? It's like you can't just, you know, make do with the whole story characters. Technically the story characters definitely work, like all the way till end game and stuff. It will work, but end of the day, because it's freaking gacha, you will definitely want that, right? You have that feeling at the end of the day. So it's like, if you're a brand new player and you haven't played any mobile games before, and you're probably it's very likely for you to fall in the trap. Because I've seen a lot of players who just join in for the first time, never played mobile games before, and then they're just constant swiping their card non-stop and all that shit, right? I've seen so many of that. So it's like, yeah, just be very careful of that, that's for sure. Besides the whole gacha thing, the whole stamina system is the thing that I feel like they are using just to time gate us in a certain way. So it's just, it don't allow you to progress that much. That's one of the things that I really notice when it comes to gacha games in general. It's like, they always do this kind of stuff. It's just so that you cannot progress so fast, you know? But at the same time, it's like, I'm thinking, right, if they actually do not make this game to the point like it has that without the gacha element, right, I feel like this game has way more potential than it is. You know, they could probably just make an actual game and then just make it as skins, you know, character skins and all that. I really don't think that's a problem at all. I feel like that's much better than freaking gacha with this stupid shitty ass 0.6% rates and all that shit, right? That's way better than that. So when it comes to all this stamina resin stuff in this game, right, I really hate it so much because most of your progression when it comes to like upgrading your character, making your your weapons, limit breaking your weapons, ascending your characters, leveling up your talents, all that stuff, right? All this stuff are gated towards that bullshit of a resin system. So it's like you're so forced to use all these resins so you can get more of this stuff so you can upgrade your shit better. So if you do not use, you know, if you can probably use all your resins early, which is usually not advisable to do. You definitely only want to use your resins, you know, the ones where you collected by leveling up your adventure rank and you talk to the NPC, you get the freebies every time you level. Yeah, those resins you probably only want to use it much later in the game, like probably maybe 35 onwards or some shit. But I already been using too much, quite a bit, because I really have nothing else better to do. I just say fuck it, I'm just gonna use it anyway. But yeah, it's much better to use it at higher level characters for sure. But because at the beginning, it really does, you can still progress just fine, you know. But yeah, because all this mats is gated towards that, it makes it so freaking annoying, you know. So like this also includes like doing like your world bosses and your weekly Storm Terror and whatever the wolf's name. The boss, all those weekly bosses, all this requires resins. Everything you want to farm all those really strong artifacts as well, you gotta use resins, man. You want to do all these world bosses to get those materials to extend your characters, you gotta do all this, gotta use resins, man. You want to get all the talents, everything, you have to use. They are just locked behind all this resins usage. That's the really one thing I really hate about the game, like, because it has that whole gacha thing, like I said earlier at the beginning, right? It's built around as a gacha game. It's not like a typical normal game where you can just play like single player from start to finish of the story, blah blah blah, and done. No, this game is built as a goddamn gacha game. You have to remember that. Yeah, that's probably my biggest complaint about the game. So I could probably just go on talking about that, but I really do not want to waste too much of your time listening to me ranting that. So let's just jump into the conclusion, shall we? So conclusion, at the end of the day, should you play this game? How do I rate this game? Honestly, it's a really not too bad of a game. Should you really play it? Yeah, I guess it's okay if you want to give it a go. I really do suggest you just give it a go, just because why the hell not, right? It's a free game, yeah, you can test anything, but I really do suggest you to not bother spending a single cent. Trust me, please do not spend a single cent in this game, because this game really just kicks your fucking balls, man, when it comes to rolling and all that stuff. And then don't get me started with the whole re-rolling thing. If do you want to re-roll, I really suggest you to not even bother trying to re-roll, because I would really think that, in my opinion, re-rolling it kind of gives you this whole, it wastes your time, you know. It's like it would just diminishes your whole point of playing the game in general. I just feel like you should just play the game, explore the game, you know, filling the whole world of this game by yourself, you know, experiencing it firsthand. I really think you should just go jump in and go right into it. It's like, yeah, I have a 5-star, sure, but honestly, this is just my first reroll. If I didn't get, I wanted to just try and see how bad was the reroll, because everybody was saying it was so bad. So I had to just try it, right? I have to feel and experience it how bad it was. And yeah, it was pretty freaking bad. But I got pretty lucky. Just one reroll and I got venti already. So I don't really suggest you to go reroll at all. Just do whatever, go give whatever, just use whatever you have and just play the game, experiencing yourself, because it's definitely worth a try, I would say. But yeah, it's definitely not worth your money to spend a single cent in this game, because like there's battle passes and all that stuff. It's just honestly a really big waste of money, because the battle pass is all just ass anyway. If I were to rate this game, I guess it's probably an okay type of game to burn some of your time in, because it really did kind of worked out at the end of the day, because I actually just used this game to waste my time, because I was really bored in GBF farming bars all goddamn day. So yeah, it was a pretty interesting way to burn my time. But yeah, if you really have better things to do, yeah, you can probably just skip this game. But all in all, this game was relatively decent. The only thing I really hate about it is just this whole gacha point to it. Yeah, so anyway, that's really what I think about the game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. I guess it's a review, but yeah, this is most of my thoughts about the game, really, after playing like probably like a week, maybe 5, yeah, I think it's like around 5-6 days or so, almost like a week. Yeah, but as always, I love you all. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video or find this helpful in any way, shape or form, and I'll see you guys on the next video or on the stream. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah, that's it. Bye bye.